Welcome everybody, this is your host Chess Edition. Today I'm gonna show you a game and I will analyze afterwards. Let's go to the game. Okay, I start with e4, then the knight, then the bishop, castle kingside, pawn to a3, pawn to b4, knight to c3. Let's hope I don't make any mistakes here. Pawn to h3, bishop to e2, bishop to b2, most likely pawn to d3, bishop to c4, then pushing the pawn to g4, pawn takes f3, most likely knight to king to h2, knight to d5, pawn to c3, pawn d4, pawn c3, knight takes knight, pawn to d4, bishop to c1, rook to g1, rook to g4, queen to b3, bishop to e6, bishop to b2, rook to g2, trading the bishop. Rook to g1. Pawn to c4, pawn to d5. It should be good enough. First, queen to d5 first. Wait, queen to c4 first. Then rook takes rook, rook takes rook, rook takes rook, queen takes rook. Or pawn takes pawn. Or pawn to h4. Most likely pawn to h4. Queen to b3. Queen takes pawn. Queen to b3. Pawn to e5. Pawn takes pawn. Rook to g8. Rook. Okay, that's an N1 game. We see whether if I make any mistakes, and maybe try to not to make the same mistake again. Okay, 5 mistakes, 2 blunders. Let's go to the game review. Show best move, start review. This is the opening move. Okay. C4 is a blunder, so we see what's the problem here. Losing a rook for no compensation. Should have played some other move, like the best for me I think is d3. After this pawn, this bishop is not being threatened or need to defend the knight. just a pawn move will do, like pawn to d3, but because I'm scared of the lock bishop at e2, so I did not play this move. I think still the best move that I can figure out logically is pawn to d3 in this. After this, if we don't move this bishop, but never mind. The engine says that this move bishop is a bad move, so I don't really get it, but it's understood that it's a mistake because the show line says so, because they can give up a piece for minor piece for a major piece. So we see the next mistake. Here I'm trying to block the dark square bishop, but the engine decides it's a f4, so we see what move they make. I don't think that's a big mistake. It should be playable, but slightly worse for me, but still playable for me, because I do play this kind of strategy, this kind of situation games, so I'm quite familiar with this. Pawn take the free knight. Let's see another mistake. This is a good move. There is a better way to play this according to the game. If it were me, that I would play b3 first, then to f7, but see what the engine says about the line that they want to play. Okay, the engine tries to I don't understand this position, but I was thinking that in this position, the queen to f3, then pawn to d5, opening up lines for attack on the rook on h8. That is what I'm planning to do. For me, it's neither hurt or heal, so we see another problem. It's a mistake, but I don't think it's a very big mistake. It's not a glaring error. I think we don't need to see since there's no line to see anyway. Okay, got a better position after the trade. This is very common. The engine wants to play full control on the fourth rank, where all the 5 pawns are controlling the center. This is a very strong position for white, because white has a lot of space. When I say a lot of space, I mean a lot of space, like controlling all these fixed rank squares like a5, b5, c5, d5, e5 and f5, all being controlled by all the 5 pawns here. Okay, I make a mistake. There's no complaining. It's definitely a very big mistake, because he can simply grab a lot of advantages in this position, because the king can be checked and all the pawns can be minimized. If you don't believe me, see the lines that the engine says. Well, that's not the best or the worst move, but it's understandable that we have slightly, but not a lot, but just enough. But for me, I was thinking my way was better, I think, because he made a bad move, so the next move should be. So this is a good move considered for me, but according to the engine, this is a very big and very glaring mistake. But because of the next move, this move can be supported by all three pieces, one queen and two major piece of rooks. Free queen, that's all. That's the end of the game. Clearly winning because I have a full queen advantage. End of the game. That's all for today. I'm your host, Chess Edition. I'm signing out. Goodbye.